Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. Look at this, so fresh and so clean. Salomon S Lab Phantasm 2. We have a new brand in the house. I have reviewed one of their shoes before, but we're gonna be getting some miles in this guy today. I'm gonna tell you whether it's one to consider. And if you are looking for a new race shoe, because you clicked on this video about carbon shoes, if you're looking for a new race shoe and you have not yet checked out the Supwell app, make sure to do so. The Supwell app is my community of hobby joggers. We also have the best buy, sell, and trade inventory out there. We've done thousands. Let's not fact check. We've done hundreds, at least, probably thousands of deals on the marketplace. We have discount codes to Running Warehouse, and people are posting discount codes everywhere. So if you are in love with carbon shoes, if you're in love with the culture of running shoes, or you're not and you just want to get more into running and have a community to support you on your journey, make sure to check out the Supwell app. Every day I see people posting their inspirational, motivational stories, getting out there and putting in work. So if you want to join that and be part of it, get in with us. Also, you can get this beanie for $15 when you sign up for the Supwell app, which is another bonus. It'll keep your head warm during the winter. All right, enjoy today's video. Bro, I've been getting too hype recently, so I started listening to Take Care. You know Take Care by Drake? And I thought it was going to be chill because I was listening to The Ride. I mean, the first line of Take Care, the album, is the song Over My Dead Body. He said, I think I killed everybody in the game last year, but forget it. I was on, though. And then he has a few chill songs. He has Crew Love. But a few songs in, then he hits you with Headlines again. And then I was hyped up. Talking about Real is on the rise. Forget the other guys. They know. Like, man, Drake, chill out, dude. Chill out, bro. But we're going to Carbon County this morning, so I have to be hype. Look at this. Salomon. And you know what's funny? Oh, man, where's my phone? Look at this, man. I did not even plan this, but as I was about to start filming, I was listening to Take Care feat Rihanna. You guys know who Rihanna is? I hope everybody watching this knows who Rihanna is. She's one of the most famous pop stars, top 3 most famous pop stars in the world. I think Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Rihanna, is that a fair ranking of pop stars? Rihanna doesn't drop as much music, but she's a billionaire, she's a boss. She said, Barefoot Mafia better have my money. Anyway, what's funny is that Rihanna actually popularized Salomon. Rihanna started wearing Salomon trail shoes casually, and she made this brand hot. Now you'll see if you walk around New York, and fashions have changed, but 2-3 years ago was the peak of the Salomon thing. The Salomon thing is still going strong, but people wear the Salomon Speed Cross casually now, and they have a whole line of casual shoes. So shout out to Rihanna putting in the work. Killian Jornet, who? Courtney Del Walter, who? About to pull up like Rihanna this morning. All right, I was about to open it, but we have the Salomon, I don't even know what this thing is called. I think it's called the Phantasm. I've had this sitting here since Chicago, the day after my Chicago Marathon 2:39 PR. I said, man, I want to find another shoe that's like the Saucony Endorphin Elite because I absolutely love that thing. Let me grab it. This thing is a complete tank, and I know that Saucony's changing it. Some other people have told me the V2 is a squish fest, apparently. I loved how this thing feels. You don't have a lot of rubber. It's a very direct, planted feel, nice, aggressive, toe-off, lightweight, and it's not soft at all. Matter of fact, it feels firm. When I first ran in it, I didn't like it because it was so firm and aggressive, but this is what I used to get my PR. It's a racing weapon, and if you're going to get into that mileage mercenary mindset where you're just going to crush miles and kill kilometers, for me, I need a shoe like this to just go out there and rip. And I've tried every single shoe from the mainstream brands. The only shoe I haven't tried that's available on the market right now is the Ultra Vanish Carbon 2, and that's a zero drop shoe. But I've tried everything from the mainstream brands, and nothing is like this. Nothing is even close. I'm not saying this is the best racing shoe. It's just my favorite. It's like what I said about the Bondi yesterday. I love a shoe like that for everyday miles. That is a perfect daily trainer for me. Comfortable, stable, cushioned. Similarly, this isn't the best race shoe, but it's the perfect marathon shoe for me. Comfortable enough, stable enough, light enough, and just aggressive enough. It combines all the elements I like in a racing package that is fine-tuned for what I like. So I'm hoping that can be what we get out of the Salomon. I haven't actually heard a lot about this shoe, so I'm coming to this with no expectations. I do know that it has PEBA, and we're going to Carbon County. So let's open this thing. I'm just saying you could do better. You guys remember Marvin's Room? All right, bada boom. Ooh, I see some red. You see that red through the box? I think this is going to be a fire colorway. I think this is going to be a banger. Woo! S-Lab Phantasm 2. They want to call this the 2. I ain't never heard of the 1. Seriously, though. I have never heard of the Phantasm 1. But here we do have the 2. Extremely lightweight upper here. Look at this. It is see-through. It is a sheer upper. I really do like the colorway of this. It's white with a thick strip of red down the side, and they say energy blade right here stamped on the midsole. That is the carbon plate. And one thing that's promising is if you look at the line between these two pieces of foam here, this midsole line, it swoops down really low, close to the ground. A lot of us out there, a lot of us hobby joggers have better luck when the plate is closer to the ground. And what a plate closer to the ground will do will make the shoe feel softer. It will read as softer because you get more foam above the plate. The closer the plate is to the foot, the more aggressive it will feel, like the Zoom Fly 6, like the A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris. So this is a low swooping plate. It actually reminds me of the Edge Paris, the line of the plate. I'm not sure where the plate is in the Saucony Endorphin Elite. That's a good question. Where's the plate? Is it this? Is it this right here? It might be that right there. That's middle line of the plate. Yeah, super lightweight upper. It's like that vegetable bag material from the grocery store. Fairly narrow in the back. Look at this. Compare the Elite to the Phantasm. Yeah, the Endorphin Elite V1 is about half an inch to an inch. It almost looks like an inch wider than the Phantasm. Let's look at the fit. It also looks like the Endorphin Elite has a wider toe box. So Salomon is a French brand. They do a lot in mountain running and mountaineering in general, skiing. They've attempted to break into road running more over the past few years. They have not had a hit. They have not had a viral hit, at least in the American market. People aren't talking about them. They're not landing on any lists. I do see their shoes pop up from time to time. The Aero, the Aero Glide, and they have a few other shoes, but they have no viral bangers just yet. So we'll see if this can be a solid race shoe. I already know out of the box here, this is not going to be one that I'm recommending to a lot of hobby joggers, likely because it is just so narrow and it looks super aggressive. And these shoes are not my preference for the marathon. These narrow and aggressive shoes I prefer, and a lot of people are better served by shoes with wider bases. But what's interesting is that Salomon actually does have another shoe that's engineered for hobby joggers. This is the Salomon S-Lab Spectur, and I've only run in this one time so far, but this is a carbon-plated race shoe designed for 4-hour marathoners and designed for heel strikers, designed to be a stability race shoe. So in this one, they wrap the energy blade or the plate up the heel. They have a much wider base here. They have a version of training foam on the bottom that's tuned for stability, and it's overall supposed to be a more comfort-oriented shoe so that when you're getting up there to 3.5, 4.5 hours, you have more support. And you can see the differences between these shoes, especially in the rear. The Phantasm 2, the shoe that is designed for elites, this is designed for fast marathon paces, 4s and 5s, versus the Salomon, which is designed for 7 and 8 marathon pace, 9 marathon pace, and more important than pace, designed for time on feet. This is the time on feet shoe versus the speed shoe. You're going to get a lot more support. You have that wider base, the foam wraps. You also have a more comfort-oriented upper. In the S-Lab Spectur, you have a lot of padding on the upper. And in the S-Lab Phantasm 2, it is lightweight. Now, when the Spectur dropped, people were interested in it. And they were also offended by it. I ran in it and I liked it. It's tricky. It is tricky. I'm not offended by it. I think some people don't want to be told that they need a special shoe because they're slow. That's how it comes across to people. That's not how it comes across to me. To me, it's more elites have a bunch of racing options. Let's design one for hobby joggers. And that's why shoes like the SC Trainer V3 exist. That's why shoes like the Super Blast exist. So Salomon potentially missed the mark with the messaging on this one, and maybe they should have positioned it more as a training shoe, and then hobby joggers would have just adopted it as a racing shoe. But either way, I want to get some more miles in it. Maybe for the second run today, you know what? Let's plan on that. Second run of the day in the S-Lab Spectur. We can test this guy out as well. And morning run, we are going to do, of course, in this guy. So seems light, has that full race foam midsole. Ooh, pushing it in here. Honestly, seems in that not too soft, not too firm zone. And let's see. I'm trying to figure out if it's a dual density midsole here. I don't think so. I think it's just a single density midsole, but the top for some reason does feel slightly firmer than the bottom. But great design. The fit looks awesome. The colorway looks awesome. Great rubber coverage on the bottom. You get the carbon fiber plate and you get the race foam. So potential banger out of Salomon here. Let's weigh it on the scale and do some comparisons. You thought I was going to say Kobe. Wemby. So if you're not familiar with Salomon, and I'm not super familiar with Salomon, I do know that Rihanna made them cool. But if you're not familiar with them, S-Lab, that is their performance division. So S-Lab Spectur, that's coming from their performance division. You can think of that like Audi Zero. S-Lab Spectur, that's Audi Zero, Boston 12. S-Lab Phantasm 2, that's Audi Zero, Adios Pro 4. So let's put this guy on the scale. Coming in at 234.5 grams. Not the lightest, not the heaviest for comparison. Let's check out the Saucony Endorphin Elite here. My favorite marathon race shoe comes in at 222 grams. So what that tells me, 234 grams. Now, of course, it has to be below 40 millimeters in the heel, and they're not doing any creative trickeration like the Hoka Cielo to stuff more foam down here. What that tells me is this is going to be a slightly denser foam compound than what we get in the Endorphin Elite. Also, look at this rubber. It seems like we're getting some weight from this rubber. This is one of the thickest rubbers I have seen on a race shoe, and it is not strategically placed. It is just slapped right there on the front. It is very grippy, very nubby, very thick, and full coverage on the forefoot here. So hopefully that gives us some grip and rip capability. But I'm going to guess that's about dang near 10 grams right there, just from the rubber. 10 grams from the rubber. Got it out the mud for my brothers. I just made that up. That was me. Bars. All right. Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris coming in at 191.1 grams. We're going to have a PEBA party on the scales this morning so I can show you the broad array of race shoes and where they weigh in. So a shoe like the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris is all the way on the aggressive end of the market and comes in 40 grams lighter. 40 grams lighter. And that's what makes it so hard for brands like Salomon to compete here. When you have Asics, who has their shoes on the feet of marathoners like Clayton Young, who's racking up podiums or top 10 finishes left and right, and you have a product seemingly superior just out of the gates here, at least 40 grams lighter. Now, it's not all about weight. That makes it really hard for people to consider these entrants. You got to do something to have us consider your shoe, and that's the issue with me for this product. What is different about it? What is different? And maybe it's just the elements all work together nicely and it's straight down the middle of the plate, 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Hopefully that's what it is, but there's nothing other than the way it looks. There's nothing that's grabbing me about this shoe yet and saying this is what makes me different or special. The weight is average. Everything about it is average. Is it the rubber coverage? We'll see. But A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris, very light shoe. Another one of my recent favorites here, Hoka Rocket X2, coming in right around the same weight as that Salomon. And man, if the Salomon can sing like the Rocket X2, we're going to have a Grammy on our hands. 238 grams, basically the same weight. Another good one to come in recently this year, Diadora Gara. Thing with the Gara, this is coming in. Look at that, 238 grams. Same exact weight. It's a 238 party. The thing with the Gara, though, super soft. This is a very soft shoe. Also, man, I haven't used it that much, but this upper is just yellowing a ton. It seems like it's just yellowing from being in the house here. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. Very soft shoe. That was why I eliminated it from contention for a possible Chicago Marathon race shoe. I do not like soft shoes to race in. They're fine to train in, but it's just distracting for me. And I want to feel 100% confident that when I'm putting down my full power into the shoe, I'm getting all of that back without any slipping, without any lateral stability issues. And the softer a shoe is, the less confident I am in turn. Now, let's put another great shoe on the scale here. Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. This is not 238 grams. This is 214.5 grams. Lighter than the Saucony Endorphin Elite. 25 grams, though, still heavier than the A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris. And even if I had the Sky Paris in half a size up, because their sizing is too small, it would still be a very light shoe. So shout out to A6 for making some light shoes. They're not my favorite shoes because they're super aggressive and not the most fun for me personally, but solid products. Puma here, though, this is right down the center of the market. This is that 99 per hour, mile per hour fastball that I've been talking about because it has everything you want in a race shoe, nothing you don't. It's decently lightweight, decently comfortable, decently fast, or more than decently fast, good grip because it has the Puma grip, decent stability. It's all around a solid shoe that I can rely on, similar to that Saucony Endorphin Elite. It doesn't quite have that je ne sais quoi for running fast of the Endorphin Elite, but it's close. So this is an example of a newer brand, newer to performance running, coming in and getting a spot among the big dogs, getting a spot among the Nikes and the Adidas. Puma has done that. Now it's taken them 4 or 5 years from the reinvigoration of their running lineup to do that, from their heyday of Usain Bolt, and now they're back with a new roster of pro athletes and an entire new lineup from top to bottom. But that's what it takes. It takes 4 or 5 years. Salomon is in probably year 2 or 3 of really trying to break in. They haven't done it yet, but we'll see if this shoe can put them on the map, at least for me. That's what I'm excited to do. So I'm going to listen to more Drake. Now we can go outside and lace this up. Don't Drake and drive, kids. Ooh. Hold on, man. QA check. Look at this. A lot of you guys aren't allowed to run in this shoe. Products intended for users over 13 years of age. Boys can't even run in that. You boys can't even run in the Phantasm 2. Go ask your mom for permission. Here's the thing, man. I'm just joking around. Some days I'm feeling spicy. Other days I'm feeling extremely tired. Other days I'm feeling happy. Other days I'm feeling sad. And so I will bring the energy I'm feeling to the channel. If you want someone to be smiling in your mouth every morning, go watch the Today Show. Shout out to Hoda Kotab, putting in work. 230.5 grams. That's decent QA. Salomon, I have heard they make high quality products. Seems that's no different here. Good job, Salomon. I'm just saying you can do better. Tell me, have you heard that lately? I'm just saying you can do better. What's that? That's what happens if you listen to too much Drake. What's up, buddy? You guys seem very calm.
So I did something kind of silly, and I double booked, and I kind of realized it, but then Ashley texted me this morning. I invited Ashley to go to this Winterfest thing.
At 10:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it on the calendar.
Mason's at school.
Do you want to take it? Because you could take it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Would you do that instead?
Yeah.
Do you have time?
Yeah, I can.
You don't want to, though?
No, I can. 11:45.
Daddy.
What's that?
Daddy.
You want me to, but it's because it's my thing.
No, I'll pass along the intel.
Daddy.
She assigned me to talk to Mason's teacher now. Oh, gosh. I have to talk to Mason's teacher at 11:45. If you listen to too much Drake, you have to start taking parent-teacher conferences at 11:45 a.m. on a Tuesday. That's what happens if you listen to too much Drake. The crazy thing about Drake... So Mason was in soccer this fall, and one of the kids on the team, so she's 5. What's that? I didn't know.
Someone did. Well, who would have done it?
That's what happens if you listen to too much Drake. You start getting accused of things you didn't do by your spouse. But yeah, one of the kids on the team, his sister, who was a few years older, she was probably 12 or 13, but she was wearing a Drake Tour t-shirt. His longevity and range is wild. The generational reach, similar to a Taylor Swift or probably more than Beyonce. I don't think Beyonce has attracted a lot of people under 20. But man, all right, lacing up the S-Lab Spectur here. This is promising. This is promising for me personally, not just because I think I'm addicted to copping races and sitting talking about PEBAs that we almost had, but because I love a slightly firmer race shoe. And man, just the underfoot feel of this, it doesn't feel too soft and squishy. Whenever I step into a race shoe, I don't want a soft and squishy feel. But I'm going to do a comparison to the other Salomon here, the S-Lab Spectur. The other one is called the Phantasm. Did I say the other one was the... I don't know. Either way, man, this is a super comfortable upper. Holy cow. So the 4-hour marathon shoe, or the stability race shoe, if you will, way more comfortable upper. Man, padding, the material is just dialed in. They have a similar feel. You can tell they're from the same brand, just in terms of the vibe of them. Very similar, but more aggressive on the Spectur. All right, walk test. Yeah, it's weird. The Phantasm, so the elite or the faster, more aggressive shoe, feels that it has more cushion under the forefoot, which is just odd. But the rocker also feels better, more aggressive. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a solid shoe. The Spectur, the more stable shoe, it feels more restrained, feels lower to the ground. But in terms of the fit of the Phantasm, it's normal, maybe slightly narrower in the forefoot than I would like, but fits true to size. I did get it in 10.5, and I have enough room up in the forefoot. Decently comfortable upper for what it is. It's pretty lightweight. Let me just throw on the other shoe here. Yeah, lightweight. I also like how it looks from the top. It feels like an elite racing shoe, and so far, like I said, there's nothing completely game-changing or mind-blowing about this shoe. But hey, sometimes we just need a solid pick. And this seems like it could be it. In terms of just delivering a reliable race day ride. If we can get some excitement from the PEBA, the same excitement that we'd expect, then this is going to be a good one. Dude, the other thing crazy about Drake is how quickly we were, and I'll say we, how quickly we were to discard him. Now, Not Like Us is, of course, a banger from Kendrick, but the longevity he had and the number of hits and the number of memories I have from high school and even before high school, man. I first heard Drake when I was in 8th grade. The number of memories I have throughout my life associated with Drake is just crazy. You can play any album and I'll think of that time. I'll think of the trip. I'll think of the friends. I'll think of the moments. It's just wild. So shout out Drake putting in work. Now let's go see what the ride is like on these shoes. You see what I did there?
What the heck, dude? Look at that. Look at that. This is what happens if you listen to too much Drake. You have to go confront your neighbors about chickens pooping on your porch. What the heck? I planned for this run. I actually don't know. I just want to get out here and get some miles in. Maybe I'll throw some 400s or 800s in here. Mean it, the ride. Mean it, the ride. That's why I went on this whole Drake kick again. I was listening to The Ride. It's a great song. All right, early overreaction here. My legs are pretty tired, more than I expected. So I'm not sure how much power I'll be putting down into these, but they feel good. They have that firmer feel that I like, not squishy. I can't feel the plate too much. Almost feels like that nitro foam, that Mag Max nitro foam. So I have a feeling this is going to be solid. I just got to warm up into this because I'm very tired. Maybe Marvin's Room was the bad choice, the wrong choice to pregame this run. Should have been listening to Mob Ties Drake. Now my legs are tired. I'm coming off 2 20-mile days, but right out of the gates here, doesn't feel like these are giving me as much explosive bounce off the toe. Some of the best race shoes will give you that super quick ground contact time feel. The Cloud Boom Strike, for example, where as soon as your foot hits the ground, it pops back up. I'm not getting that with this. But I do want to give it some time to open up. Also for me to be less Drakey and more hype. Mile 1, 7:23. I'm gonna take a nice long warm up today. I need it. The more tired and beat up I am, the longer of a warm up I need. And if they did, we gonna be in some trouble. Marvin's Room, who? This is Carbon's room. you want to see someone smiling every day, go watch Jimmy Fallon. They call me Himmy Fallon. Ah! You want to see someone smiling every day, go watch the Disney Channel. They call me Mickey Miles. Mile 2. I usually do a 2-mile warm-up. I'm gonna take a 4-mile warm-up this morning. I'm feeling much better though, 2 miles in. And at these paces, it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable, but it does not feel like the optimal shoe at a 7 flat pace. This is definitely going in the aggressive, fast category. Similar to Endorphin Elite and the A6 shoes. This isn't one I'd pull for a 3 to 3:30 marathon. There's just race shoes that are more suited to that. Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, Hoka Cielo. There's more. I can't think of them. I'm tired. All right, I'm almost at 3 miles. I'm gonna start it here with a 400. And I'm just gonna do these until they don't feel effective anymore. However long that is. Goal is to get some turnover. And I should be hitting these between 520 and 540. Working on running economy and making faster paces feel more efficient. All right, let's go. First one. That was 7:11, mile 3. And I'm slow today. All right, first one was a 6:04 pace. I'm really not feeling it today. And this is what I talk about training by feel. No one to push, no one to pull. I'm gonna do a few more, see if I can make the target pace feel any easier, but my legs do not have the pop that I would like this morning, coming off 2 20-mile days. And some days they do, some days they don't. But maybe this should have been a recovery day. So I'm gonna do 2 more right now. If I'm not feeling it still and not able to get down to the target pace range, I'm gonna cut it and stop at just 3. If you want to see someone be fast every day, go watch the NASCAR channel. Some days I'm fast, some days I'm slow. I'm like the New York City subway. And by the way, for recoveries, I'm doing equal distance. So 400 is roughly a 1/4 mile. So I'm just looking at my watch to check when I get to the next half mile or 1/4 mile mark. I'll click it off and go. I like doing it manually, not programming it in. All right, that one was better. Downhill assisted. Gotta love a good downhill assist. Coming through like Chris Paul when you need a bucket. 5:34 pace, so right in that target zone. Feeling much better. Just gonna do them until I don't feel like it. And that's not quitting. That's smart training. On days like today, go 100% by feel. I learned this from Lydiard. He didn't program specific repeat numbers for his athletes. He just said, bro, keep doing them until you don't want to anymore. The athlete will know when to stop. It's a great way to train. It does take time and practice, though, to know when enough is enough. And also to know which days should we go deep into the pain cave and force ourselves through massive amounts of fatigue, because it's not every day. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not today. All right, mile 4, let's do it. Rep number 3, 5:26 pace. Locking in. I don't know what rep number that was. Was that 4? That was a 5:19 pace. Now my mental cue for these is light, smooth, and graceful. That's what I'm thinking about. It's not power, it's not dig. That's not what I'm focused on today. Because the goal of these is efficiency to make these faster paces feel easier. So I want to feel light on my feet. I want to feel like I'm floating. This is not putting power down, trying to tear the tarmac off the road. There's certain workouts where that's my cue. Long grinder sessions. I want to be in a heavy, strong mindset. Today, I want to be in a light mindset. I want to be dancing on my tiptoes, tiptoeing in my Jordans. I want to feel like a take care beat. I want to feel like the beat on the ride. Not a lot of bass. Keep it on the treble and the mids. And recoveries as slow as I need them to be. Remember the goal. Goal today is purely making fast feel smooth. So recoveries do not matter. This is not an aerobic workout where I need to be hammering the recoveries. I want to fully feel back so I can run fast on each rep. All right, next one. That was 5:27. I had a weird turnaround on the cul-de-sac and people blowing leaves. But effort feels good. I feel very smooth. My mechanics feel nice. It's almost like I'm riding a bicycle. That's the locomotion that I want to envision. So smooth and mechanical, yet graceful. There's a grace and ease to riding a road bike. That's what I want to feel out here today. All right, next one. That was a minute 20, 5:19 pace. That felt more aerobically taxing than I want it to feel. You can tell I'm out of breath, breathing hard. A few things that could mean. Could mean I'm running too tense. Could mean I'm running too hard. Or I need to take an easier recovery. Because these should not feel that aerobically taxing because they're short. So I'm gonna jog this recovery even slower so I can hit this next one with grace. hop out, drop a prayer on them. Dear God, thank you for blessing us with mileage. Amen. If you want to hear someone whisper every day, go listen to SZA. This next one is uphill, but I'm gonna try to hold the same pace on this. All right, here we go. Cupped the mustard on it pretty good. 5:16 pace up the hill. PEBA came over, yeah, we threw a party. I was just jogging, cause they were just leaving. Blood, sweat, and mileage is all I believe in. Bro, I could have been a ghostwriter for Drake. That's what they don't know about me. OVO 2 max. All right, next one, uphill again. 124. The start of that was up an extremely steep hill. So effort was still solid. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I have 2 to 3 more of these in me. I do not want to go into the pain cave and unlock any sort of demon time activities this morning. Hey, look at that max cushion gang stacking here. I think it's fire. I'm lucky that she stayed on. I just put my carbon plate on. Whoa. I'm just saying you can move faster. Tell me, have you worked on pacing? I'm just saying you can do better. Tell me, have you PR'd lately? Whoa. There's gonna be like 7 people who understand what I'm talking about. But hey, it's all good. Nothing niche about the mileage. Yeah, I want to get a few more good ones in. We're at 7 miles, by the way. Let's go. Minute 21. I'm gonna do one more. Started fading pretty hard at the end of that rep, and that's when I know I should call it for this workout. The whole point is to feel efficient, which means running with certain mechanics. So once the mechanics start breaking down, there's no point of this workout anymore. I honestly don't even know in my head how many we did. 8 or 9 maybe. We're at 7:35, so this last one will take us to 7 3/4, and then we can cool down to 10. All right, last one. I pulled way back on that one because I didn't want to bomb the downhill. Now let's throw in one more. That was essentially recovery. That was a 6:14 pace. I've just been running this on whatever terrain is here. I'm not targeting a certain area of the neighborhood. I'm doing my normal loop. But for a workout like this, of course, running it on the flat, for me, is gonna be best for developing speed mechanics. But it's also important to work on running fast uphill and downhill. So I just did it normally. Yeah, one more, then we'll jog it out to 10. 5:24 or 5:34, something like that. 1 minute 24 seconds. That one was also up the hill and around the corner, but the effort was good. I'll see you guys at home. By the way, I went inside before I left on this run to grab my gloves, and Charlie said the shoes were fire. She didn't even say fire. She did, but she kept going on and on about how sick they were. She said, "What are they for?" I said, "They're race shoes." She said, "Ooh, I like those. How much are they?" Oh, so these are Happy Spouse, Happy House certified. These are swag. That's what happens when you listen to too much Drake. Your wife starts salivating over some PEBA. There's Charles in the mountain wagon, all the way up there. That's what happens when you listen to too much Drake. You gotta get the 3-row SUV. Bang! Seriously about to call up Tyson and get these boys cleaned up. They thought I was vegan. Nah, I'm just plant-based. I'll be cruel to animals all day, especially if they're pooping on my porch. Get them whacked! Alright, let's see what we got here. A beautifully mid session. That was so mid, and I love it. If you can be consistently mid, look at that. 10 miles, 1 hour, 10 seconds, exactly a 7-minute pace. That is so mid. So mid for me. And I've been talking about, every day, the past few days, coming out here talking about these different types of runs and how they fit into the overall system. Sunday, I was telling you about the 2-hour run. Yesterday, the 90-minute relaxed run. Today's the speed session, man. If you can work one speed session per week at faster than your goal race pace, doesn't matter what race it is, 5K, 10K, half marathon. If you can do one session per week, it typically is on a Tuesday. It can be whatever dang day of the week works for you. A few days after your long run, a few days before your race pace workout. But have one day per week where you do that. Spend some time faster than race pace. If you can do that every week, or 3 weeks out of 4, 3 weeks out of every 4 for a year, again, you'll get faster. And this was not a barn burner session. There was not a beating my chest, hooting and hollering session. It was just a solidly mediocre day. I hit some at a 5:19 pace. I hit some at a 5:20, 5:30 pace. Up the hills, I was slower. But that is all we need. That is all we need as endurance athletes to get faster.
working 1 day per week at a clip that's faster than race pace. It's just doing it consistently, which is the challenging part. If you look at most training programs, yes, coaches have difference and variations. And the difference for me is I believe so strongly in the mileage that my number one priority as a coach of hobby joggers, and I do consider myself a coach because I'm giving out training guidance, is the mileage and the 2 hour long run and staying healthy. That is number one for me. But faster paces, mileage isn't everything, man. It's the only thing, but after the only thing comes these faster paces. So that was a big success, getting through that workout on a day where I was not feeling it. And you heard, I always set the bar low. I set the bar low, and I could have bailed at any time, and it makes it a lot easier to execute without the pressure, because getting 3 reps or getting 9 reps, I honestly have no many reps. I don't even know how many reps I got. Doesn't make a difference. The point was spending some time at a faster pace to practice those speed mechanics to then make that 540, 550 race pace feel better. And hopefully I feel recovered enough on Thursday to give it a go at some race pace. I'm not sure. And this is the whole thing about training by feel. Training by vibes. It's the Drake method. We got 10 miles in the Salomon S Lab Phantasm 2. And that's what happens when you start listening to too much Drake. You get a niche hobby, you get sucked into it, and then you end up buying the most sicko-oriented piece of gear you can find. Salomon S Lab Phantasm 2, that's a deep cut. That's like a LimeWire leaked track feat Soulja Boy from 2006. You can't even... I bet you never even heard of this one. Salomon S Lab Phantasm 2. That's how you know you're a real sicko, when you're popping out with the Rihanna race shoe. But we got 10 miles in the S Lab Phantasm 2. I was not feeling it today. Let's throw it up. I was slow out of the gates. I was creaky. I was tired. I was not hyped up for this one, but these are the days where we come out, we put our steel wool socks on, we put our mileage shirt on, we put our hobby jogger hats on, we hit the pavement, and we give it our good old college try, best shot that we can. That's what endurance training is about, giving it our best effort every day for the runs that are prescribed, whether that's a recovery day, a relaxed day, aerobic day, fast day, tempo, speed, long run, whatever the run is, giving it our best shot. And that's what I did today. And I told you, if I don't feel good at 3 miles or 3 reps, I'm gonna cut it. I don't know how many I got. I think I got somewhere between 7 and 10. So 2 to 3 miles of work roughly at that faster than race pace, which is fine, but I felt efficient, I felt light, and I felt graceful until those last few reps when I cut it. I started feeling clunky and like I was forcing it, and I did not want to force it at all. As for the shoe's performance, this was perfect for that type of a workout this morning, and I can feel as I'm pushing it in here, it feels like it's gonna soften up. This is not a soft and squishy shoe, which I like. By the way, the design is awesome. I mean, look at this thing. I know this is a sleeper. I know this is a deep cut, but this is a top 5 race shoe design of the year. It looks really good. It feels really good on foot. Upper's nice, but of course the midsole performance is going to be the number one question, and it was fine. It was solid. It did not blow me away, but it was the perfect shoe for this type of a run where I was feeling mid, I was executing mid, but I just wanted something that would get the job done. I felt very efficient in it. It felt decently light on foot. I was not bottoming out. And no matter how fast I was running or how I was landing, it felt like it was coming alive. And the thing I was actually surprised at is it felt slightly better when I was landing more flat-footed with more of the heel on the ground. When I was trying to grip and rip and running more up on the forefoot, more of my speed style, where I'm activating that forefoot foam more than the rear foam. And by the way, you can see there's some break-in lines on this, which I love to see. I really do think this is gonna break in. But as I was landing more flat-footed, that's where I got more of that soft underfoot feel, more of what I would expect from a PEBA. When I was landing up at the forefoot, it felt firmer. It felt like a Sky Paris, or I'm trying to think of another firm
race shoe. Deviate Nitro Elite 3 would be another one firm out of the box that this felt like. So this is definitely going to need some more miles to break in, but I can see myself racing in this. I like that it's not super soft squishy. It's not a Vaporfly. It's not a mind-blowing bouncy ride like you would get out of a Cielo X1 out of the box or a Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 out of the box, but I really think it's going to reward some mileage. So next run with this, I'll do some sort of a tempo run or a long run with race pace. But the foam is nice. It's not as, it's not what you'd expect from a PEBA out of the box, but maybe it needs some time to soften up. So overall, design is good, felt good, underfoot. Rocker is nice. The grip was solid. There was a few places where it was slick and the grip was solid. It's the Mint Hill OG rolling through. Yeah, I don't really have a hot take. on the shoe. It just felt solid all around. And sometimes, man, I've been trying to do a better job to match my shoes to the workouts. Some days it's just a complete nothing burger. And that was today's workout. It was fine. I executed. I wasn't hitting my fastest paces. I wasn't hitting my slowest paces. The shoe wasn't amazing and it wasn't terrible, but it felt really good. And where I'm hoping this will slot in for me and maybe some other people if you're considering it is a nice durable platform. That could be the special sauce here, like the Adidas Adios Pro 3, a durable platform that you can train in a lot and race in, especially because it has this firmer, more robust feel out of the box. It feels like a really solidly built shoe. The build quality is incredible on this thing. If you look at the detail, there's no glue up here on the seams. There's no gaps. There's nothing missing. It's like a, do the French even make cars? I don't think the French make cars. There are no French car. Peugeot? Fiat? What kind of a car? I guess this would be a Ferrari. We'll have to go to Italy. This is like the Ferrari of running shoes. Really solidly built, put together, or the Porsche. This is like the Porsche 911 of running shoes. Light, fast, nimble, really well put together. Great design. Feels good. So if you're in that sub 310 marathon range looking for a new training shoe that you could also race in, this might be one to consider. I would put it in that Endorphin Elite and Endorphin Pro 3 camp. I just want to do some more testing on it today because it felt like a great shoe for this run, but it wasn't a mind-blowing experience. The value is going to come if I can put a lot of miles on it in training, have it activate more, and feel good. Not as crazily bouncy here as the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, but a shoe that just works. I think that's the thing. A lot of the times I'll if I'm noticing something about the shoe, good or bad, I will say it, but those aren't always the shoes that I want to race in. That's why I like the Endorphin Elite so much. It just got out of the way. It feels fast and efficient and got out of the way. This potentially could have that same thing. So it's still in contention for me for one of the next shoes that I race a marathon in. Of course, I do have to get some more miles in it. So with that, I'm going to recover, get some food, and then we can double back for this afternoon for some more miles in the other Salomon shoe because I do want to test that. And oh gosh, I don't know how we got so dirty today. Look at that. That's not Step Well certified, so I'm going to clean these off too. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm just saying you can move better. Tell me, have you worked on pacing? I should have stuck with my music career. I really should have.
So watch this. Quick cleanup here. This is what I always say. If you treat the shoes well, they'll treat you well right back. Look at that. Any of this dirt, just damp paper towel. Rub down that PEBA. And good as new. Look at that, coming right off. If you do it right away, it comes right off. If you wait, that's when it starts setting into the foam. People always ask me, how do I clean my shoes? How do I keep them so clean? Well, first of all, I try not to run in dirt. But if there's a car coming, I have to sometimes. I don't run in the dirt. I don't run in the rain in white shoes unless I really want to test something like the Forever Run Nitro Knit. And I do this anytime my shoes get dirty. Wipe them down. You treat your shoes well, they treat you well right back. I can feel a PR. I can feel a PR on this one. I'm optimistic. Oh, this is gross. I'm going to need a fresh paper towel for this one. That's not what you want to see. All right. There we go. Gotta find a home for these somewhere on the carbon wall in Carbon's room. Actually, you know what? I'll just put them right here. Right next to the Speedlands. Who else, pops out with the Speedlands and the Rihannas? Bro, I got the Cam Hanes and the Fenty. Bang. Bro, that Zoom call was way too long. We got a refuel time, not in Supwell Kitchen. Luckily, he placed the bag, the DoorDash man placed the bag not near the chicken poop. So that's good, and there's no chicken in the refuel bag. Shout out to Meze putting in work. This is the lunch. I should tell Charles I got her an extra lunch too. So this place is fire. I'm trying to expand my scope, my roster of ordering restaurants beyond just Chipotle. So this is a Mediterranean place. I got a falafel wrap with rice. There's some hummus, extra falafel in here. Can you even see that? Hold on, let's get the right lighting on this. Yeah, if I'm gonna order, I like to keep it relatively healthy still. So falafel wrap with some rice, pita. I think there's some tahini in here. Still vegan. And then I got extra bada boom, bada bang. I mean, look at that. Nice fluffy falafel for some extra carbs. Or this is not falafel, this is pita. Nice fluffy pita for some extra carbs. So this is the refuel. And I'll have some Element water and coffee to go along with it as well before I get back out there for my second run. It's mileage room, baby. So I'm making my afternoon coffee here. So I thought that the pita tasted a little too fluffy and light and buttery. So I looked it up, and it turns out the pita had milk in it. So I only ate a few bites of it. Honestly, sometimes I feel it's good to occasionally eat dairy products accidentally so I don't start developing some sort of an allergy. But it's just annoying because the pita was fire, and I could have used the extra carbs. So I just ate the inside of the wrap instead. Oh, well. All right, I'll see you guys for the second run. I'm going to make this coffee. Oh, what do you have for coffee today? This is what I'm doing. Holiday Magic blend from our friends over at Hatchet Coffee Roasters out of Boone, North Carolina. Villa on the water with the wonderful views. Only big brother in the sauna with shoes. When Rick Ross said that, only brother in the sauna with shoes, I think he was talking Max Cushion. Oh, I forgot my shoes because this is what happens. Oh, gosh, it is so dirty. These chickens, man, getting dirt everywhere, getting poop. I did clean up the poop. It's still disgusting, though. It is still disgusting. So afternoon miles today. It is actually super nice out here other than the completely dirty porch. This is crazy. I'm going to need to hose this down and mop it off. We keep a pretty clean operation over here, a nice tidy ship, so chickens coming around and dragging dirt everywhere, that's not Supwell certified. That's not up to standard. It's gross. There's literal just dirt. It's like mud caking the porch. Anyway, I'm going to keep it brief. 6-mile run here to test out the S-Lab Spectur. I just wanted to get some miles in this to compare it to the other one and do a full rundown of Salomon's racing stable, since I only ran in this one time. So I'm going to keep it pretty light. Nice relaxed pace range. Right in the range that these things are designed to be best for. Alright, see you on the other side of this 6.
Alright, we finished. I'm not even going to sit down because it is so muddy up here. I have no idea how that happens other than dirty chickens. Sounds like a future line. Dirty chickens moving through the Mint Hill. 7:35 pace, 6 miles and 40 hundredths, 48 minutes and 31 seconds. Weirdly, this shoe reminded me of the Super Blast. The A6 Super Blast. It's a super weird comparison, but that's the biggest comp, the best comp I can give. Now let me take this other one off and hit you with the quick double breakdown today, because we got 2 shoes in one. Alright, I'm gonna keep this pretty brief, just do it by the stairs here, but Salomon S Lab Spectur. Is this the 1 or the 2? I think this is the 1 of the Spectur. Man, first 2 miles in this thing did not feel good. I felt clunky, I felt awkward. It felt just like it was making my mechanics weird. It was forcing me to heel strike in the back. And one of the reasons why I'm saying it reminds me of the Super Blast is because as I started putting more power down into the shoe, it activated more. And it has a similar drop as the Super Blast. It's either an 8 or 10 millimeter drop, and a similar setup where you have the race foam on the top and then a thinner layer of training foam on the bottom. Of course, this has a carbon plate and the Super Blast doesn't. But once I started putting more power down into the shoe, it really came alive. It had that bounce similar to the Super Blast, and that's a shoe where in general, and people have been asking me this week, why are you running in that shoe so much? You say you don't like it. Because I'm trying to get it to a certain mileage mark so I can do a final full thoughts review. Regardless, this shoe, very similar character, good bounce once you get it going, and if you are a bigger runner, I think you'll love this thing. You'll be able to activate the top layer of foam. And so I was cruising around 710, 720 for the last few miles there. That's where this felt best. So that's right around a 3 to 3:30 marathon range. If you're my size, so 160, this will feel great for that. I think this is going to be a great long run shoe too. This kind of flew under the radar. It released, then there's not much talk about it. That's what happens if you're a smaller brand. So maybe I'll do another long run test on it at some point so we can do a fully vetted analysis. But yeah, if you're pushing 8-minute, 9-minute pace in your, let's say 180 plus or 200 pounds plus, I think you'll love this thing. It is really fun once I was able to activate it. But when I was shuffling along more, jogging, not putting power down into the shoe, I personally could not get the most benefit out of it. But stability is great. It feels like a true stability racer, and if you're looking for something stable but still fun, this is like a stable Vaporfly. This would be a good choice. So shout out Salomon, 2 solid race shoes. I personally prefer the Phantasm for running fast. This one might be the better pick for long runs though if I weren't doing race pace. So I'll get some more miles across both of these shoes, but I enjoyed them. Good testing today. We got to take care of chickens, go work, do some 9 to 5 activities, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.